collective energy reading. Please come into this space. Please only take what resonates. Leave the rest for the best. No about the stress. Just a collective energy reading. But I just come in. So if you come in, please just take the message as you come in, because it's just a whole collective energy reading. Someone's wanting you to know that you don't know. And they're saying, I know you got the best intentions. So someone's letting you know. They're in their mind. They're in their thoughts. They're in the heart. They're just identifying about their foundations and their structures. They're saying they know that you've got the best intentions. Just trying to find the right words to say. I promise I've already learned my lesson. But right now, I want to not be okay. I'm so tired of sitting here waiting. If I hear one more, be patient. It's always going to stay the same. So let me just give up. So let me just let go. If this isn't good for me, well, I don't want to know. You could be saying this. Someone could be saying it to you. Take it all as it resonates. Just leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because they're saying, you don't know what it's like. Can't stop this. I felt it. Feeling myself sinking. And it's starting to show on me. You're staring at me while I'm blinking. But just don't tell me what you see. I'm so over all this bad luck. Here, one more. Keep on my head up. If it isn't going to change, so let's just give up. Let me just stop trying. You don't know what it's like. So someone is letting you know they don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to be in this relationship of these people. They're lovers, you're lovers. When they're surrounding themselves and they've got no balance, they're not being fair-minded. You couldn't be fair-minded towards yourself because you're in your thoughts, you're in your feelings. Take it all as it resonates. You could just be looking for guidance at this time. Somebody else could be looking for guidance and trying to find that equilibrium within their self, because you have found the balance. So they need to find the balance because you found that balance. And in all areas of my life, I am the master. So they're trying to be able to master now all areas of their life because they can see their self sinking. They're trying to find the right words. They know that you've got the right words because you're balanced. You've got that stability. You've got that foundations. You're able to take your structure. This could be a masculine energy, just needing to be able to gain their structures. They need to be able to gain their guidance. I bring love to my world. I'm meeting the needs of my body and my soul. So they need to be able to bring this love because they're not bringing this love because they're tired. They're in trouble. They know that when you're looking at them, you're just blinking and thinking, freaking out what the backside happened towards you, because they're looking like they got some health issues. You could be looking at them in the way how they look right now. They're going stress and conflict because they're in that low dense energy in relationships around certain people, and now they're looking to be able to take control of their life because they need to be able to take control, because they need to be able to find some willpower, because they have faith in that freedom. I calmed down and entrusted my doubts to the Most High to rid myself of all of them. I trust in the Most High to be able to perfect and providence. I trust in His will and find freedom. So they're trying to be able to find freedom because they're in their mind. They know that you speak the right words, but they've already learned their lesson. You had to learn your lesson about those relationships of when people are giving a service towards other people, because you had to be unflinching and you had to be steadfast in the face of those troubles. And now they're having stress and conflict with those relationships, with those shared interpersonal styles. This could be a Leo energy. You could be in that Leo energy, being protective and brave from those relationships, from those people who was trying to backstab you, because they could be seeing certain people was determined to be able to take control, and now they've been maybe wanted to be determined to take control, to travel towards you. This could be your lover. Relationships, they're looking at that choices that they've made. You could be looking at the choices that you made, and they're indecisive. They're in their mind, they're in their thoughts, they're in their feelings. They're trying to look at analytical approaches towards life because they're looking at their aspects. They're looking at the guidelines. They're getting guidance. They're trying to be able to gain this balance and this harmony because you've got that balance and that harmony. You could be just in that Virgo energy, being practical. In the Libra energy, you're loyal, you're just balanced, you're fair-minded, and now they're just in their thoughts and their feelings. Take it all as it resonates. Leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Here they are. I'm going to use these cards. So I'm going to use the Sacred Forest Oracle deck first. See what we can get from this. Any message. Oh, I've got them upside down. So you're in stillness. So now they're in stillness. These divine feminines, masculines, they could be gaining wisdom about being in that low dense energy due to the fact that they was driven through these idealistic approaches. And now they're identifying their self because they're always putting their self in certain situations. and they know that they in somewhere right now and they want to not be okay. So now they need to be in that stillness because they've got to have that reflection of their self about these people, their relationships, the choices that they made. They need to be able to speak because they're connecting now because of the way how they was intellecting and moving towards you or with other people. And they're now looking at you because they can see you're faithful, you're sincere. They're trying to be able to look for this miracle to be able to come towards you. You could be that miracle, and they're looking at you because now they're looking and gaining that reflection. They're having this social awareness as to who you are because they're gaining more understanding to be able to overstand from when they was around certain people, because they can see that now they've got to be optimistic because you're extroverted, you gain that knowledge, you gain that wisdom, you was steadfast, you was grounded, and now they was know that they was around people who was trying to dominate over them and trying to be powerful over them because they was in that low dense energy. They was around certain Scorpios who was being idealistic, and that was because they was in that low dense energy, and it was all for taxes, loans, assets. They could be telling you that they've had to gain this strength. Certain people was being persistent, they was being courageous and passionate towards them. Take it all as it resonates, because now they're gaining that understanding, that wisdom. They're in that hermit, gaining introspection about certain people in refuge. So they're in hermit, gaining refuge because they're gaining this wisdom, they're gaining that understanding. They're looking at certain people who was trying to be creative. You could be creative in speaking and analysing and recognising certain people, places and things. You're connected to your heart. Now these divine feminines, masculines, they're getting in that Cancer energy. They can see they're connected to their emotions. They're identifying their self. They're looking at their self because they can see they were stubborn. And now they're looking how they was being trying to be enthusiastic. Now they want to be able to enthusiastic to be able to come towards you because they've got to be open-minded, because they can see you're purifying yourself, they're purifying themselves. They can see you're speaking and you're creating because you're flexible. So now they've got to be able to get flexible. They've got to be able to connect to their heart, identify about those low obsessions, that underworld of living, the people that they was giving a service to, all those taxes, those loans, then properties, then assets that they was sharing with other people. They're identifying those two-faced people that are communicating. They've got to look at their dynamics now, their structures. They're trying to be able to connect to their heart and look at their emotions and the way how they was moving with their habits, because now they're looking at the flow. So now they're trying to flow with their heart because they're identifying about those low structures, those people. They're gaining that inner wisdom to be able to come and speak. You could be gaining this inner wisdom because you're in solitude now. They're in solitude in their mind. They're trying to connect to identify about these people that are around them that are persistent and doing certain things within that underworld, in that low dense energy, because that's in that subconscious mind. And that's all about money, shared assets, this relationship with their partner and the skills what they've been sharing with other people. They could have been in a childlike spirit. Now they're trying to find that spirit to be able to move, because that's that fire energy. They're trying to be able to gain that balance because that's that awakening. And that's the actions to the actions, what they was moving with, and the relationships and the contracts that they were sharing. So now they're identifying because they was taking control. They were going to tell you that someone was trying to be a magician and there was some hidden powers, and they was trying to be able to create this energy, this feminine energy, and that was all for stability, for those firm foundations. And now they're looking at within their heart and they're trying to identify, because you had to protect yourself from these people. You had to connect to your chakras. You had to keep on moving and embodying that firm energy, because you had to be stable within yourself, within your mind, to go and get your miracles. And now they're identifying, because when you start connecting to your heart, and that's about the relationships, because when you're in hermit and you're gaining this introspection, because you're a leader and they're gaining wisdom in regards to who you are. Now they're identifying about the traditions and the people, and they're in that institution. So they're in higher courts now because there's miracles taking place, because the Most High God says that covenant that you had, you continuously keep and taking action, moving with your third eye, continuously moving with love, protecting yourself, keep speaking, doing certain things with a good positive energy. Certain people was being courageous towards you, passionate, direct, two-faced, wise, restless, in regards to the way how they was communicating, the way how they was delivering a service, the way how you deliver a service. They didn't realise they was in that low dense energy. They was trying to act like they was an empress, but they was the empress in reverse. Meanwhile, you're that empress, you're powerful, you're creative, and they was trying to be wise. And that was all communicating, family members, close friends, about these contracts, these relationships that you was upholding. They wasn't balanced. They was thought they was being sincere and charming. Meanwhile, they was being objective in regards to these partnerships. Your partnership, your relationship, you just connected to your heart, because the way how you're moving, you're creative. And you're just continuously flowing, because you've got that understanding to be able to overstand. You're practical and balanced, because you enabled change. So now change has got to take place. Sometimes you don't want that change to take place, but you had to be creative. You was adventurous, you was charming, and you was gentle, you was loyal. You looked at your heart. You seen those people in that low dense energy who was driven by vindictiveness, and they was clingy. So they're going to let you know that they had a clingy karmic who was trying to be manifesting them and doing certain things from low dense energies, trying to be able to take authority and power over this masculine, all in regards to their assets, their approach towards life, even the way how you move, because they wanted to stop you. They didn't want you to be able to keep on moving forward. They thought they was a better chick than you. Masculine, feminine energy, take it all as it resonates. They was in that low dense energy, driven by idealistic approaches. They was trying to dominate over certain people, places and things. They didn't identify who they really were, because when you're in that Pluto energy, you're just driven through money, lust, pride, greed. They weren't able to be able to transform and change their mindset. They thought they was doing certain things for power because they was obsessed. They didn't realise that when you're in that energy, you got to have that death and that rebirth to go through that transformation for that change. And when you got to do that, you got to gain that inner strength to be able to overstand. That's when you got to get in that one and be your own magician, not the magician in a bad way, in the reverse. So you have to keep on moving, going forward, and continuously giving good guidance. And it's guidance, the Most High guidance. So you have to continuously keep on moving forward, because that's that positive change. Now they're making this change because they know they can't make the change, because right now I've learned, you're moving, you keep on moving forward. You have to let go and retreat within your mind to gain the wisdom, because that's about your tree, your mind and your stability. Now they're looking at their stability. They're in that stillness. They know they need to be able to make these changes. You had no choice to make these changes. Continuously giving that service towards yourself. Now they're looking at their self, their attitude, their appearance, because they're stressed. They're having this conflict. They're having instability. They don't know what to do. People are mentioning you to these people. And then when they're mentioning you, it's even more stress, because they was moving in the way they was trying to be brave and controlling, because they were stubborn and vain. They didn't identify what they was actually really doing. They thought you lacked confidence, but they realised that you got that confidence and you're self-assured. They was being fiery and charming. They didn't realise they was thought they had to be too charming. You identified, because you was balanced, and now they've got to be able to come, because they may want to be able to come and give you justice. Take it all as it resonates. They are looking at you now, because they see that you're practical, you're self-reliant. Meanwhile, they was being stubborn with this relationship that they had, these two-faced people being stubborn at the side of them. Now you had to be flexible, because you had to go for healing. You had to listen to your heart. You had to gain structure. You had to gain this authority now, this masculine energy. So you had to get into your masculine energy. But this masculine energy is now looking at its habits, their habits. Could be a feminine energy. Take it all as it resonates, because now they're trying to be able to be protective of their self. Even the way they act, because they're having conflict and stress, and they even instability. They even maybe tried to gain that confidence, going like they're self-assured, like they're not really stressed, and looking at these relationships and their approach, the way they move, because now they're looking. They need to be able to purify. They want to purify themselves from these relationships, because they're around two-faced people, communicating in their communities, people that they've known from a long time. These are two-faced. This could be your love that was being two-faced. This could be a two-faced empress that was trying to be powerful and creative to be able to gain some growth, but they didn't realise that you was that empress. You got into your empress energy, purified yourself, gained that wisdom, took that action, because now they're looking. You could be looking. They could be trying to manifest these new beginnings, try to be that magician and manifest. You're just gaining that inner guidance, and you're gaining wisdom and continuously moving forward towards your success. That's in order for you to grow, because you've had to have that death and that awakening, because they gave you stress, chaos, conflict. Now they're having this awakening because of the stress, chaos and conflict. They need that passage to be able to come towards you, but that's that uncertainty. But right now, I want to not be okay. Just trying to find the right words to say. I promise I've already learned my lesson. But right now, I'm not okay. I'm so tired of sitting here waiting. If I hear one more patient, it's always going to stay the same. So let me just give up. So let me just let go. If this isn't going to good for me, well, I don't want to know. So this is what they're saying, because they're getting that social awareness of you. They need to be able to gain this wisdom. They ain't got no discipline, because they ain't got no structures. They're not able to have this balance to be able to keep on moving forward to those opportunities, because they're too busy about this money and their appearance and their approach. They're not gaining this wisdom to be able to move forward and get that inner standing to be able to overstand. They need to have their optimistic approach towards life. They need to be open-minded and flexible, just like you. Take it all as it resonates, because they're having stress. They're crying and they're feeling hurt, but they don't even know how to be able to express these things. Take it all as it resonates. Why is it stillness? Why are they in stillness? This cause that will come. Right, because they need balance. They need to be able to be in stillness because they need balance, because they need the social awareness. They need to be able to gain structure. They need to gain wisdom. They know, and because of their insecurities, and they're detached right now, so they're in that stillness because of the way they was cooperating and working with these partners. So the relationships and the shared interpersonal styles that they was having, now they're looking at that relationship, and when they was in that low dense energy with those karmic energies, kitchen witches, doing certain things for lust, for pride, for greed. Now they're gaining that understanding because they was being courageous, and now they know that certain people was determined to take control. Now they want to be able to take control because they're gaining that inner power. They need courage to be able to have that depth and that awakening in that low dense energy, to be able to gain that insight about those people who were stabbing those doors within their back, to stop that new beginning, your new beginnings, your opportunities, all for money, all for that second house, all for houses, possessions, or for the habits, the way they moved, or because they thought they was doing it with great pleasure. And now you have to use your intuitions and protect yourself. Now they're using their intuitions about these karmic energies. This is your lover. They put their self around because now they're looking to be able to gain harmony because of the people that they was working with and delivering a service to. And that's the attitudes from the past about, and that's resulting from when they was in that Cancer energy. So now they're identifying themselves now because they was being lazy. They could have been selfish. They could have had lazy, selfish, clingy, female, masculine energy holding on to them, just watching them, the way how they move, what they're doing, how they're doing what they're doing, but they thought they was going to get this good luck. They didn't see that cycle of life, that wheel of fortune, because destiny had to change. Because when they didn't realise you was that feminine energy, you use your intuitions, you was spiritually and emotionally connected to yourself. Meanwhile, they was emotionally disconnected. They was spiritually barren. And you now, they're taking refuge and identifying the people that they was around. They've got to use their intuitions now. They see you're intuitive, you're compassionate, you're connected to your emotions, and you're sensational also, as well as sentimental towards your feelings, because you're flexible. Because that's the extraordinary power of your manifestations, because now they're praying now because they're in that low dense energy. They need that inner strength, because when you're in that underworld, you have to have that depth, and that's that awakening, that's that transformations for the people, places, the relationships, those shared assets, those loans. Now they want to be able to be your friend, because they're coming towards you and they want to message you, they want to speak to you and let you know about these intimacies and these taxes and these loans. And now I've got to go through this stressful moment because I'm gaining this awareness about people being vindictive towards me, because it was driven through jealousy, and that was all because they was trying to be critical and anxious towards the way how you was moving or the way I was moving, or the communication skills, or stopping the movements because of the service. They thought they was being practical. Now they're analysing about these people that was being passionate. You're self-reliant. They was being very stubborn, and that's controls of the situation. So now they want to be your friend and be able to come and speak these things towards you because they see you're flexible. That's that equilibrium. They see that ebb and flow as you've got, and they want to be able to communicate because they're analysing, how can I come and do this? But remember, they've heard your words. They've learnt their lesson. But right now, they want to not be okay, because that's the driver force, and that's that confronting of the actions when they was in that Mars energy. So when you're in that Mars energy, they was in that low dense energy extra drives with these karmics, and they was having shared intimacies and looking at the contracts what they was having, all because they thought they was having a sense of usefulness. But they didn't identify that on a personal style, because they didn't realise about these taxes, these inheritances. Now they could be having to go to court. Now they've got to have high education wisdom, because now they're looking at these shared finances and the way that they was merging with certain people, because they was doing it through extra aggressions. They was moving in Aries energy, being passionate, courageous, aggressive, impulsive, and they was competitive. So someone was competing against you. That could have been that feminine energy trying to be able to compete against you in regards to assets, loan, money, relationships, love, your relationship. Take it all as it resonates. That was because you was that true divine feminine. You wasn't able to use your intuitions, and you wasn't able to travel. You moved, you took action. You've got that willpower to be determined, to gain that wisdom, to keep on speaking. You wasn't able to use your intellect. You looked at yourself. You looked at your health, because as life or death issues her, so you had to look at yourself and look at your health, because they got to look at their self and look at their health, because they're now looking at the stress for the relationships that they obtained. Now they wanted to be able to travel because they wanted to be able to take action now, to be able to come, to be able to speak love. Somebody maybe wanted to stop them from traveling, to be able to take that action, to bring that balance, to be able to speak love. Because people was being objective, they could be indecisive about this relationship. They could be being anxious at this specific time. They maybe want to travel, because that's getting and using power of. So people was using this power, with great power, to try to control, because they had no balance. They seen that you're practical. They seen that you're gentle, you're loyal, you're charming. That was about money and wealth, all about materialistic possessions. Home, health, generosity. They can see that you've got that home, health and generosity. They wanted your home, health and this generosity, or because they was in that low dense energy there, looking at the people and trying to take control because of the service to others that you're providing. 6, energy, Virgo, energy, health, wealth, generosity. Your assets, your loans, your relationships. They had no balance. And now they're thinking they're being indecisive. Now they wanted to be defenders. Now they're looking to be adventurous, to be able to come towards you, because they want to travel now and take that action and that willpower. They want to get in their chariot. They can see that you're working, you're supporting, you're enabling, because you've got that authority and structure within inside of you. Take it all as it resonates. And you don't know, because your goals today and your reality of it, and you're steadfast and you'll keep on moving, because they was insecure, they was detached, and they're having this social awareness of you. You've got that social awareness of them, because why? That's that ending now to these karmic cycles. You had to end them, and that's trusting your psychic knowledge, and that's resulting from the indecisions about the way how these people's moving towards you in that low dense Pluto energy, in that low dense Neptune energy, because of those illusions. But that was like that moon energy. So you're identifying these secrets. Now these divine masculines could be looking at these mysteries to the illusions when these people was in that subconscious level, because they was around karmic energies. You had to identify those karmic energies. What's the balance? Take it all as it resonates, guys. Too many about this sudden wealth, this money, these illusions, about these contracts and these relationships. It's this balance, look, too many. They're trying to find this pathway about this house and something about this partnership. Too many, mate. Sometimes you lot can't get the picture because you know the picture already. So if you know the story, put it where it is, because people are trying to block you. They don't want you to know about this. Official person. So you could be hearing about this official person, that the karmic cycles, certain people have been around and they was trying to get control, and they're trying to be obtaining certain possessions. This could be the female energy. You could have to use your intuitions about this female that was in that low dense energy, trying to obtain your material possessions, this house, these assets. You could be hearing about this. Someone could be trying to take action to be able to come towards you. This is about some taxes, inheritance, loans. You could be this high honor person. They was trying to be of high honor. Now they're having that death and that awakening as to who you are. Was that 7? And that's you. You're that lover. That's that change. Someone wants to travel towards you because they're seeing that you're in high honor. They could be wanting to be able to come and bring you fairness and tell you about this false 8, low dense energy. They're having that recognition. They're having this social awareness of who you are and watching you. They're looking there in that masculine energy because they was trying to gain fame. Oh, about this unexpected wealth. I didn't even see that drop, because they was wanting some unexpected wealth. They thought they was in high honor, and this wealthy man could be the official person coming, gaining his balance, wanting to be able to move forward, because they was trying to manifest, and they've got some hidden things. They could be even coming with some hidden things. They're coming with some energy. They would maybe want to be able to take action towards you. They may just need time to come and tell you. They could see you as a lover. They could be coming to tell you about this person was trying to be able to manifest and create, taking control, and now they're looking to be able to be protective over this person. They could be coming towards you and telling you, oh my gosh, I've gained some wisdom about this lover who was trying to control you, this mature woman, this false feminine was trying to take your place. So they was trying to control you because they was trying to see that you was giving a service. They could pretending to be you. They're traveling towards you to be able to come and communicate these things. Now they're looking where they was communicating. They may be wanting to be able to come and communicate this towards you. This unexpected change. They thought they was getting this unexpected change. They're journeying in the distance horizon. You could hear about this unexpected change. And this false woman was acting like she was you. They could have been their lovers. They was acting like they was in the high priestess, the true one of high honor. Now this wealthy man has got to go to court in regards to this false person, because she was trying to obtain some money, but they had a different lover and they was acting like this mature person. They'll be running from them. See if we can get it from this, and then we'll just take that, because whoa, you could be hearing about engagement and some passion. They could be coming to run towards you about with some engagement. You could be hearing about this high commitment, this eternity, this partnership and union completion, and some intense chemistry, sparks and having fun, because they can see that you're of high honor. Someone could be coming towards you to be able to offer you this, because this is the runner. They're running from that karmic, because that fear of intimacy and running away, that intensity and letting go, turmoil, teddy bear, because that interest in you, blooming romance. So someone could be coming with some unexpected money towards you, some finance, some love, some relationship. You could be this divine feminine, someone being in their childlike spirit to be able to come towards you. Now this masculine is having stress, conflict, self-sabotaging because of fear and their ego. That's why they're saying, so just let me just give up. So let me just let go. So if this ain't so good enough for me, well, I don't want to know. So they could be running from that person and telling them. It's lovers. This twin flame. This could be your twin flame coming to tell you this. They've got this social awareness. They wanted to run because they're gaining discipline now. They're looking at their structures. They could see that they was being insecure and detached. You could realize that you're insecure and detached. You could be this divine feminine. They won't be able to come towards you. Get back out there. You could be getting out there, meeting somebody new and sitting and setting a date, or a date online. So you could be this mature woman. They could realize, oh my gosh, that's my twin flame. But you're out there, you're enjoying yourself, you're moving forward. They're having this social awareness of you, your friends, your family. They've got this watching. They could be having them watching you, because they can see that you're moving, you're using your intuitions, you're intelligent, you're sociable, you're eccentric. While they was being flighty and detached from you, they maybe want to be able to come now to give you this fairness and this balance, because this sudden change, the disaster for the destiny change, because they were trying to do a destiny swap. What is this distant horizon? Or they don't want to know. They're trying to block this distant horizon, this state, this shock. So you're going to see a sudden change, because shocking news and a surprise, and epiphany about this separation, this sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you. Cutting down. Now they're cutting down. They're having this awakening, because they're going to get this love call. That's that phoenix arising, and they're hiding their true feelings. So now they're gaining this wisdom, because they've been hiding their true feelings. They can see that you're that phoenix arising. They can see that they detached from you. You was just steadfast and organized. You was just cautious, use your intuitions when they was being flighty and detached from you. You seen the realistic approaches towards life. You seen the mystical aspects. You use your intuitions when these people was trying to be courageous and stubborn. You were just seeing those material aspects of life. You went forward, you left that because you went for the spiritual. You seen that, you gained that wisdom, because that was overstanding, because you went for the sun, your own happiness. You seen that success, you gained that clarity, because you knew that world, it was a completion of certain cycles. You went to that fulfillment, because that was your wholeness, for you to embody all these energies, because that was the Wheel of Fortune. It had to change in that 10. When those low people are giving you stress and conflict, you had to get that inner power. People was persistent to be able to take your money, your assets, your finances, your relationships, those shared loans, your inheritances. You made your own healthy choices. You had your own cup of coffee. You was meeting and talking. You was saving the moment. You felt evaded. You built your friendships, and they're identifying. They built friendships in that low dense energy. They didn't realise when they was being wise, and they was thinking that they was irresistible, because they was lazy and tactless. Now they're learning that wisdom, because you gained that wisdom, because you seen that inner standing. You just grew. You was optimistic. You identified. You recognised. You seen the test. See the telepathic messages that they want to give towards you now. The challenge. They're seeing that that was a challenge. All true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together. So they're gaining this wisdom now about this money and these assets and these shared finances and these loans. Taurus and a Scorpio energy. Now they're looking in because that feminine energy was trying to use their intuitions, trying to be creative, didn't work. Confusion. See, she was trying to create this confusion because they had that social awareness of who you were. They were steadfast. They were so insecure. They wanted your assets, your love, your joy. They thought they was being versatile. They wasn't optimistic when they was in that low dense energy, and they know that Saturn has to return because that's that you was using your psychic abilities. They thought they was able to use those psychic abilities, but they was uncompromising, unimaginative, codependent. They wasn't eccentric. They wasn't imaginative. They wasn't independent. They was too naive, and they was stuck, and they was insecure, and they was flighty and detached, and they was thinking that they was being able to gain something, but that was rekindling. Now this runner wants to be able to come back and rekindle. You just rekindled with your mind, your body and your soul. You rekindled and got steadfast. You got organized. You used your intuitions because you was dependent on yourself, and you looked at those links. Because you've seen the things towards you that was blooming. You've seen the things that wanted a date. Now you're looking at them links into the bonds of love. Because love grows stronger when you put that more love in towards yourself. That people will have this social awareness of you. Because you're intuitive. You're intelligent. You can see you're eccentric. You're moving forward because you've got balance. You're using your intuitions. You're unable to progress because that's that sudden change that you had to make. Now they want to be able to make a sudden change because they identified that they was rebelling against you. Now they're trying to gain this discipline. You had to gain your own discipline to keep on moving forward, to be in that Capricorn energy because you knew the maze. You kept on walking forward. Even if you felt lost, there's always a maze through the maze. So you knew that there was a maze through the maze, and that was that sudden change for that wheel of that fortune. So when these people was coming with this low dense energy, you found that balance. You had to find that fairness because that was your decision, because now they're finding balance and fairness in these legal matters to be able to come towards you because that's that life and death issue. Now they're getting the use of the power because that's a sudden change. This divine masculine, they're having stress because they're lacking confidence because they were self-sabotaging. So now they're looking, they're having these legal matters, but they could be looking at you to be able to embrace, and you just embrace yourself because you knew that was a twin flame connection. You identified these lovers, but you was persistent. You gained the wisdom from the guardian angels. You retreated. You kept on delivering a service, helping other people who's going through this situation of what you're feeling. You enable people to be able to gain that structure and that discipline, to know, to be able to keep moving, make that possible change, stay steadfast, keep organising. People trying to make you feel insecure, continuously using your intelligence. You're stable. You're enabled to be able to keep on moving forward yourself. Use that eccentric move, because certain people are uncompromising towards you. So you kept on using, moving and evolving when those people was rebelling and trying to put you in upheaval that was intense. Now they could be coming back with some intensity of that true soul connection, includes highs and lows. So you had to go through that highs and lows. Now they're looking at the highs and lows because you had to identify it. You had to be optimistic. You had to be open-minded. You had to be flexible. You had to identify and recognize when these people was doing certain things. You had to get in that Jupiter energy and expand. Be optimistic because you was moving towards your abundance. Now they're looking at you because they can see you're moving towards your abundance. They can see that the energy that they was moving with, you're independent, you're inspirational, you're communicating, you do certain things with reason, and you look at the ideas and you look at the connections you've got. You do things with love. Now in the distant horizon, because they're gaining this wisdom, you're growing and gaining your optimism, you're moving in your distant horizon. Take it all as it resonates. They're trying to gain strength and enlightenment and trust in the process about the marriage. In the distant horizon, it's confusion about that. All seekers of the truth will experience confusion. Ask the universe to provide the answers, to be able to gain that strength so you can get that enlightenment and trust about this marriage. So you identifying, but boundaries will be in place because that's a part of the universal law, but it's a bit of love, and you need to love yourself, but surprise in the moment. So you just stay in the moment, identify yourself, keep recognizing yourself, the things that you're needing. This divine masculine, feminine could be doing the same. Take it all as it resonates. I'm just going to take 2 of these. Stay in the momentum. A gift from someone special. So they could be seeing that you're a gift. that low dense energy. You could be gaining some assets, some inheritances, some loans and tax. You could hear about this, something could be coming towards you. You could be hearing that someone's gaining inner strength, some good looks coming your way. Some unexpected connection. Oh, take it all as it resonates. The opposites attract. Fearless love. A courageous leap into the unknown. So you could be going to courageous leap into the unknown, because 7, somebody's in their heart. They want to travel towards you. They're taking this action. They want to be able to be sincere towards you, because this is about a partner. This is about houses. This could be assets. They could be wanting to come and give these things towards you, because they're being creative. They're having that inner power and that getting that inner guidance, because they're not getting in that Empress energy, being creative to come and express these things. Take it all as it resonates. Leave the rest for the best. And about that stress, let me just see what's in my bag. I'm only going to take a few because I feel like I've been chatting for ages. So I'm just going to take a few out of this bag and see if it connects. Oh my days, I'm not taking all of them. That was 3 one time. And that's some big long writing. Alright, so 2 more. Dig deep. Oh gosh, so 2 extra little drops. Oh, all right, guys. For those people in that low dense energy that was passionate and stubborn, identify, recognize oneself, because these are positive changes, what needs to be made. This is all knowledge and wisdom. Stop being stuck in your low dense energy. Transform, change, because they programmed us the wrong way out here, just trying to learn right, guys. So you lot, 9 of you lot are growing, gaining wisdom, looking at your structures, your ambition, being optimistic, expanding with philosophies about these people in that low dense energy that are driven with these idealistic approaches towards life, all for money, assets, greed, pride. Take it all as it resonates. Right, it says divine source are supporting you to be able to overcome these challenges and to be able to achieve your own goals, to tap into your talents by expressing yourself your authentic way for your higher purpose. So these divine feminines and masculines are seeing you express about these people being in that low dense energy, that I need to be able to have to go through that death to have that awakening. And you see the dog barking because they're in their mind now, because they was being courageous, persistent, passionate, chatting shit, doing certain things in that low dense energy, all for assets, emerging, having these sexual drives and intimacies, because 7 deadly sins, guys, the 8th one is them. So they have to remember you're that higher purpose, and they have to look at their higher purpose in life, because your path is clear and the powerful force of transition from judgment to renewal. So now they're looking now, because they want to be able to come towards you. They're just gaining that momentum because they had seen that maze, that pick and pick to the pick shit, and seeing delivering service, going look at the people, the community, expanding with different groups, traveling, doing certain things, thinking that they're being wise, restless. They thought they was in that power. They thought they was being creative. No, there wasn't. There was lacking, and they wasn't doing certain things with reason. They didn't have no dynamics. They didn't have no social ideas of how they was moving. They didn't move with love, and this was your lover. Fool. So now they're looking to be able to promise. They made with you that covenant about the relationship when they was in that shared intimacies, and their tax and them inheritances, your taxes, your inheritances, what you earn, what was supposed to be for you. But these Scorpios who was driven with jealousy, those karmics that was wanting that, now they're gaining wisdom because they see that you're growing. Now they're gaining that because they're looking at the current to the spirit within them. And now that's for the new beginnings. So they're looking at you because they want to be able to come now, because they're in their mind, that 3, that's in your thoughts and your feelings. They're looking at these groups who they was expanding with. So they can't be able to come and to talk to you now. They want to be able to come and speak to you. They may even want to call you. And that's for the restoration. And that's the end of the judgment, for the destruction, to be able to come to a new promise. Now they want to be able to come towards you because they're gaining wisdom into regards to who you are. They want you to be open-minded. That you might not even answer them by sending you voice notes. And that's some promise. So they no longer want to be able to pass in, or you to be able to pass judgment. This could be someone judging you also. Take it all as it resonates, because they're gaining wisdom of you, because they're in that low dense energy. So they wanted your relationship, your partners, your assets, and they're stressing big chat about you. 7 and 3. 7, your relationship. 3, communication. 8, low dense dotted bomber clock, Ross Clark energy. Sorry, not sorry. Someone is judging you for their flipping sins and your rightful ways. Because you was open to open your eyes and see they was lustful and they was vindictive and they was moving with pride because they was in that low dense energy and they was wanting your assets in your house and your inheritance. You know, all your luxury lifestyle when you was with your partner and all the things because you was upholding that partner, but they thought they was gaining that and they didn't realise because that partner was moving with that low dense shit. They was just sliding through the shit. You get it? So they don't even want to move out of that shit. Because I know you got the best intentions. Just trying to find my right way, the words to say. I promise I've already learned my lesson. But right now, I want to not be okay. So now they want to not be okay, but they're in the mind, they're in the thoughts, they're gaining this wisdom, looking at you, they've got optimism, you're gaining off and you're moving. You got morals, you're versatile, they had no morals. You're optimistic. You just thought, all right, MIG, let me keep on moving because I've got my authority and I've got my power and I've got my structure. Because you're authentic to your true self. And that was you eliminating the truth and the reality and going and gaining knowledge and wisdom. And you're just being judged all the same time. Even when you're moving and you're gaining wisdom and you're moving with love and you're moving with your heart and you're structured and you've got your discipline, you have to protect yourself by these people as being creative. You just thought, I'm creative too, I got skills up in this shit. Meanwhile, they had skills to cause you stress and conflict about your relationships. This was this feminine energy. They didn't realise that you had that wise dome. You was your own leader. Now they are identifying. Their traditions are the way how they moved. The way how they was institutionalised to be a Jezebel spirit. Now they're having this social awareness of their self, the way how they put their self out there in public. They didn't realise that sudden change. They thought that they was that true magician. But they didn't realise you manifest, you create. Anything you want, you get. Maybe it might take a little bit of time. Yes, you might have to have that lesson as well. Yes, because people was being lazy and moody and selfish. Okay, so you have to use your intuitions. Alright, but you use compassion. You connect to your emotions. Because you're sentimental like that. Do you get it? Because you're balanced. And when you got that balance and that structure, you know when people are being in that low dense energy, trying to take action towards you and doing certain things with your things. And you get that recognition of that because you're physically, spiritually connected to them demons that come near you. You got awareness about them people that are trying to mess about with your roots, your heart. 4 is your roots, your firm foundations. 5, this relationship, this mother figure. I don't know when people think they're doing what they're doing because now they're gaining introspection because you get into that 9 energy, that solitude, then that 10, that's that sudden change because 12, you're in that karmic energy. Hey, Pauline. Hi, Ingrid. So you got to identify and recognise oneself because that's that balance because now that legal matters are going to take place, okay, because that's changed. Then they thought they was going to get your destiny, you know, that inheritance, that taxes, that loans, your material possessions, your luxury lifestyle. Oh, sad out here, mate. But that was Lakshmi, that goddess of wealth, fortune and beauty and fertility that you're upholding. Yeah, man, have this social awareness. Because they wanted you to be lacking. They didn't realise you was hardworking. They didn't realise you was responsible. Meanwhile, they was being secretive because they didn't realise they didn't have no discipline. And you was just grounded and connected, steadfast. But they're aware of you. Don't you worry about it because they thought they was going to hit it big off you. Meanwhile, you're just too balanced. Balanced out here in these streets. Move with your heart. Move with love. Continue to give it a service because these people are socially aware of you. It's always close friends, always family members, always people who are wanting your things because they see the way how you uphold yourself, the way how you're moving, you're steadfast, your structure, they're flighty, you're intelligent, you use your creative skills, they've got to have this awakening, you put a sudden change to these friends, families, because they was in that karmic low dense energy, they was in that hangman, you had to let go, they was sacrificing their self for their attitude, their approach to life, money, materials, free, sitting there with people chatting shit too. Or because they was persistent for possessiveness or for material aspects of life. They wasn't stable. They was too sensual. Thank you. Thank you. They didn't realise every day's your birthday. And you just balanced that here. Because today's my birthday, guys. Thank you. So those people that want to keep you in that low dense energy to make you not moving forward towards your assets and your dreams, so you can have that good positive energy and be independent and express yourself because you're inspirational. They didn't like that. They tried to be creative. They didn't realize that you're unable to be able to manifest because you've got that hidden power. Because you're that true divine feminine, you use your intuitions. You're creative. You're spiritually connected to your emotions. So when these people come with low dense energy, 12, we feel it, we see it, but that's that ending to that cycle, for that renewal, because that's that sudden change to those illusions. You spiritually woke out here. Now that sudden change that they need to be able to go through, because that's that awareness now, because they've got to evolve. Because when you're in Uranus, you need to get your head out of your arse. And when you start smelling it, you know what happens. It's that sudden change, that transformation. Because you're in that hangman position. So all the shit just starts flowing out. That's why they can't look you. And when you see these people, you look them in their face and you're just blanking. They're telling you, don't say nothing. I'm so tired. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at them, and I want to be patient. And you'll see when you're looking me in my face, you know, you're just a blank stare. Because you're thinking, oh my days, they've got to go through that death. They've had that sudden change, transformation. Hi. They need to have balance because they're looking and they've got that karmic energy around there because they've got fear now because of the addictions and the egotism and the restrictions because that material aspects of life, because they was in that low dense energy causing conflict, stress and instability, and they was doing certain things for a purpose and a life force. They didn't identify that 13, that's that death when you're in that low dense energy because of external drives, trying to be creative, using your magic, your kitchen witch shit, thinking that you're that true empress energy. This time you're low dense, dirty, black widow, Jezebel, succubus, Latvius, energy vampire spirit that had no roots and no foundations, with no structure. I'm talking, I can't got to read these cards. I'm going to have to marry him so I can stay. So they wanted to have to marry certain people so they could stay. You're just remnant. You just remain faithful to your complete trust in the divine, even when facing astray and opposites. Your abandonment, rejection of you, those divine feminines, masculines, your family members as well as friends, voluntary and continuously abandoned their trust in you. And the covenant, that agreement or difficulty, that faithful minority chosen by you. So you was faithfully chosen them. And that's that divine within you. You was chosen to be able to carry out that for a purpose and to be able to preserve the truth. And your clothes, to be able, your outer wear, and that was your experiences, the spiritual status, and your inner dominant of yours, and those divine feminines and masculines and family members' soul. Those divine feminines and masculines, family members as well as friends, remain faithful towards you despite the unfaithfulness of them or the minority of your remnant in your faithfulness, your resilience and your construction of your covenant, your agreement of the covenant through those chosen few. You're just tasked to be able to share the friggin' message with others. You, like Noah, building your ark. Your ark is your mind, and when you're in that low dense energy, that 12 in that karmic cycle, you've got to make that 8, make that positive change, because you've got to look inwards. That's you to have that inner standing, to be able to overstand when you're being a dirty little ras, crutching at yourself, doing certain things, taking people's assets. Then you've got to get in that 9 energy to be able to grow, because you need to have wisdom, you need to have morals, to be able to understand, to be able to overstand when you're doing wrong in that low dense energy driven by idealistic approaches, messing about with people's firm foundations so they can't move forward. But you be able to be speaking about this divine feminine, masculine family members as friends, because they're having this social awareness of you speaking. And they've got to grow. They've got to be able to do better, to be better. Because that's that interconnectedness to all things. Now these divine feminines and masculines, your family members as well as your friends, that interconnectedness of all things and the environment that is evident in the way that they interact and the consequences that arise because there's no balance. and you respect the nature. And that's when the spirit just moves, because that's the worldview, and that's how they shape, and that's how they portrayed of their nature and their sacred part of their destiny. And that's their references. And you just advocated balance and harmony. You're not seeking to be able to dominate their nature or the relationship, or the way how they act in that low dense energy, or to enable them to be able to transform. Because when they're being passionate and stubborn, you're just self-reliant towards yourself. You're just brave. You're resourceful. You just got skills. You're just connected to your heart. When these people was driven by vindictiveness and jealousy, because it was idealistic, all for money, inheritances, taxes, loans. They didn't have that inner power, but they was being courageous and persistent in a bad way. You coexisted with those divine feminines, masculines, as well as friends, peacefully. You just respected them in a different way. You seen the values of all of them. And now that's them. Their environment is their destruction. Now they're looking because of what they cultivated. And they need inner standing and compassion. So they need to be able to grow now. They need to get that awakening. They need to build that inner standing. 22233. That's that personal growth. Accelerate, increase in the amount, or move faster, gaining quicker, transformation, and embracing those changes, good or bad, just unlocking your full potential in order you to be able to achieve your goals, your purposes, letting go of any old patterns, allowing your skills and your talents to be shown, to be able to pursue your life purpose. Just remember, the universe is guiding you. You are not alone. They are making secret plans jointly with your spiritual guides, your ancestors, the Most High, to be able to co-inspire, to be able to help you achieve your goals and those new opportunities in love, joy, peace, prosperity. It's all on the horizons. 234. Continue to be able to embrace your true authentic self while aligning your actions with your spiritual aspirations, your hopes and your ambitions of achievements and your goals to keep on moving forward to your relationships, to gain that wisdom, to be able to continuously know better, to be able to do better so you can help other people. Transitions to be able to move forward, more light and love, ground to the earth, hold the light within inside of you. So you need to hold that light of love within inside of you. Keep gaining your wisdoms, keep looking at your structures, your firm foundations, keep continuously using your intuitions, being compassionate towards yourself, use your emotions, be sentimental, empathetic, use that power, use that leadership in a positive way. Looking at the instincts, your habits, the way you move, the way you react. Protect your thoughts, protect your feelings, but enable others as well. Because somebody may want to send you a message, because that's all that keeps on coming in. Want to send you a message, want to send you a message. High intelligence speaking, it guides me. I feel when I have done right or wrong. So you've got that high intelligence. You know, you feel when you've done right or wrong. They feeding off your energy. Burn them out with some sage. So they're trying to feed off your energy. So you mean to burn some sage, burn some Palo Santo, salt, guys. No dark forces can come near thy dwelling. So salt. No dark forces can come near your dwelling, because we're in that low dense energy. They want to be able to come near you. They can't. That's why you got moving away. Gain that eye of wisdom. Connected to your heart. Looked at the habits. Looked at your structures. They're having social awareness of you. You have social awareness of them. Take it all as it resonates. They see you're intelligent. You're stable and grounded. You've got discipline. You're responsible. You're reliable. Finding the healer within me, that's why. The Most High cause and a doctor collects the bill. So the Most High curses, right? So when these people are done wrong, and they're wondering why their health issues are wrong, and they've got stress and instability and can't move forward because in that 10, and they're detached. Because it was being steadfast when they was being wrong. And now they've got to be steadfast through that conflict and stress. Because of those relationships, this feminine energy, take it all as it resonates, getting stress and conflict, bare drama. So God curses and the doctor collects the bill. They may need to be able to pay a bill. A change in your change in mind, body and mind. So you need to be able to change your mind, your body, your health issues, change your mind, your body and mind. You can manifest, you can create, you can heal yourself 5 and 6, that's about your health. You can have got that wisdom, you've got that knowledge. You can do certain things for a life force and a purpose. Looking how you're moving. Are you stressed? Are you in that low dense energy? Because when you're not stressed and you're not in that low dense energy, you're lifting yourself and you're speaking positive and you're doing good towards yourself and you got that confidence and you're outgoing and you're self-assured, you can move. Divas, ladies, that's how you do it. Divas, ladies. So you're being that diva. They be trying to take force out on you too much. I wake up with so much joy in my heart. I'm happy. So you're waking up with joy in your heart. You're happy because you're gaining this wisdom. Now they're getting this social awareness of you, that you've got joy in your heart. You're happy. You're organized because you're versatile. You're cautious. These divine feminines and masculines, they wish they did better. Now they wish they did better. P-U-S-S-Y, power in play with that karmic energy. So now they're looking at that heart with stress and conflict because certain people was trying to be wise. They thought they was being that high priestess, and now that justice has to be taking place because they're having legal matters now and decisions need to be taking place about this money and this assets and this loan with this feminine energy who's got stress and conflict. Take it all as it resonates. This could be a Leo, a Taurus, a Capricorn. Take it all as it resonates. Leave the rest for the best about the stress because you don't get too much. Your boss knows they was wrong, trying to do right. So now they know they was wrong, trying to do right. That's why that official person's coming to you this morning, because they are in that high honor. They're seeing their false people that they was around. And now they're identifying, this mature man, oh, your lovers. Wow, they want to be able to come now. Because you're that mature female. Learning from the experiences from others. That's what we do out here, guys. Learn from the experiences from others. So when you lot are listening to this, thank you. You just learn through these experiences, right? Right. Everything's a lesson, right? Right. What did you learn? How did you feel? What positive changes did you make? Because we're reflecting, we'll be refining, we'll be restoring our ass from them people causing us stress. So you're questioning yourself every minute. Why are you causing me stress? Why? Because they've got stress. Let's get some of this. A chakra, because then your chakras are blocked. And it blocks your chakras. And you're wondering, why is that chakra blocked? Because, people are trying to block you. Too much your second chakra, your sacral, so you can't create, you can't speak. And that's knowing that you're worthy to be able to deserve abundance in everything, because that's what you require. So you have to watch your thoughts. You have to watch the way you act, the way you speak, and you have to honor and respect yourself before you wreck yourself. Because when you're gaining this wisdom and you're getting stress, you're all up in your mind because you're thinking you've got this power and you're being creative and you're wanting to take this leadership. This time you ain't got no leadership of your mind. Because you're in a low dense energy. And when you're in that low dense energy, there's them hidden aspects of life. Yourself, your mind, that heartache, that hurt, that pain, that trauma that you carry with you because you haven't grown. That's what it is. So you have to honor yourself in that knowing that you are worthy to be able to receive and be open to be able to receive, and remind yourself that it is a sign of strength. So you have to remind yourself that's a sign of strength within inside of you, because that's a maze, it's intense, it's confusing, mate. Trust me, you have to date yourself and get that twin. Left and right side in your mind. Say, babes, where you been? Oh, stress, okay. So you get connected. Identify why was you stressed? Who stressed you out? What was it, this wealthy man? Because it was your lover. And you thought you was that mature woman. Okay. Oh, a mature woman came into this. Because that was that unexpected connection. And it was a memento that you felt at that time. But you're seeing the challenges and the confusions that got into place because of these friends that still be wanting to send you a message and rekindle, because they're gaining that knowledge as to who you are. Because they're connected to the heart in that for their roots, their foundations. Oh, now they're using the intuitions and connecting to the emotions. Oh, okay. But they weren't doing that before, no, was ya? No, because you was being courageous. Now they're gaining that confidence. Don't worry, guys. You got your confidence because you're courageous and you're moving forward because you got that passion ignited within inside of you. You got that inner commitment. Because you run from the things what tried to fear you. You ran and you connected those links. So you keep on moving forward. Because you got that social awareness yourself. Are these fake people who was wanting this unexpected income? You gained that wisdom. You knew because that was a part of your contracts and that was you. You was of high honor. They had no balance and stability because they wanted your money, your foundations. You just protected yourself because you use your creative parts. You use your intuitions in regards to this. So when you hear about it, Obviously, people feel shame. They're not going to come and tell you because there's boundaries in place. But they're knowing it's life and death now because they're having stress. In the distant horizon, an official person may send you a letter about these devils. And they need to be able to let go that they was in that addiction. And they had that death and they've had that awakening. And they want to make this sudden change and can be able to speak to you now. Because that's that hangman position. Just looking at different perspectives. How can I come? What kind of change? I need to prepare myself first. Stand still. Take refuge. No. Be flexible. Go with the flow. Yeah. Because they'll be watching you. They're analysing you to be able to come and give you this justice. They've just got some legal matters going on at the moment, guys. Too much giving of service to this partner, your lovers. You just need to be able to gain that harmony and balance because it was cooperating with people. Okay? Now they're having this stress because they've got to get in their ego because they look at their life force now and the purpose as to why, to where, to what. Take it all as it resonates. Leave the rest for the best. Never bother stress. Balance is coming in place. Fairness, your way. You're providing a service. You're gaining understanding to be able to